Dear viewers, today's topic is West Bengal Votes 2026 Identity, Welfare, and the Battle for Trust. In 2026, Bengal's ballot is being shaped by uneasy questions: who belongs on the voter list? Can welfare outweigh fear over safety and jobs? And does a decade and a half in power demand continuity or correction? From the Special Intensive Revision or SIR that unsettled millions to youth anger over unemployment to a polarized contest between the Trinamool Congress and the BJP, these elections are as much about trust and identity as they are about promises and performance. To unpack the media narratives, ground realities, and what journalists are hearing on the streets of Kolkata and beyond, I am joined by Snehasis, president of the Kolkata Press Club, front row observer of Bengal's politics and the pressures on its press. Welcome, Mr. Shur. My first question is that from a journalist's lens, how would you characterize the 2026 election? Continuity election, correction election, or something else?
Well, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to join in your esteemed channel. You see, from the ground reality, what we observe as a journalist, this election is an election with difference. The main issue of this election has become the SIR, Special Intensive Revision of the Electoral Roll, and the deletion of around a lakh voters, and then reinstallation of some, and then some have understood that they are not going to vote this time because the tribunal is going to take time. But the main issue is not the anti-incumbency, development, corruption, or double engine. That means if the party in power at the center and party in power at the state is the same, then there will be more development, more trust. All these issues are taken a back seat. The main issue has become, and which I believe that Trinamool Congress leader and the Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has been able to flag it at the top of people's mind, is the issue of SIR, that some genuine voters are denied from their right to vote. And that issue, suppose the person whose vote is denied, obviously is not going to vote, but people in his surroundings could revolt, could oppose by casting the vote to her party, because people coincide, election commission and the government of India, and this effort of SIR as a concerted effort of party in power at the center, that is Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, through the machinery of the Election Commission of India. So the SAR issue has become the most important issue in the West Bengal election, and it has become the most important issue for another arithmetic reason, that suppose there are 100 constituencies out of 294 total constituencies which had seen the margin below 5,000, 10,000 or 15,000, and in those constituencies the number of deletions are more than the margin. So now what is going to happen? And you see, this because all the psephology has become unpredictable, because the numbers whose vote has been deleted and the individuals and where he would have voted, and he voted last time and this time he is not voting. So all these are unable to be understood individual level, micro level. So that is why it is slightly difficult to predict that which party is an advantage out of SIR. But definitely the impact of SIR will be in the polling, in the results for both the parties.
Right. Bengali Ostitto and the outsider debate have resurfaced. Is this narrative still potent in 2026? What do you think?
Well, this has been a narrative spearheaded by Trinamool Congress led by Mamata Banerjee. The last time election, the slogan of Trinamool Congress was Bangla tar ghorer meyekei chai. Firstly, meyekei chai, ghorer mey. It's your own daughter. That concept clicked well. And the leadership, because the central leadership who came for electioneering, all are mostly from outsiders. And within the BJP state leadership, yes, there are leaders, but there is not a single person who is considered to be the leader of the state BJP. Yes, there are former BJP president Dilip Ghosh, there's a present BJP president Shomik Lahiri, then the leader of the opposition Shubhendu Adhikari, all of them are there, and the former BJP president, a union minister, all are there. But but the leaders who are coming, and especially coming of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Home Minister Amit Shah. Last time this slogan clicked that they are outsiders who are campaigning, but after all, you love and you need and you trust your own daughter. So that slogan has been very effective. This time it's not pronounced in such a manner, but definitely the Bengali Osmita, and what happens is that the leaders who come from outside, they try to be quite friendly with Bengal and Bengali poetry and the language, and ultimately they make some mistakes, gross and grave mistakes, quoting Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore's poems or somebody else's, and some incidents and some names which, instead of being familiar with this party, actually they think that they end up in showing that they are isolated.
Right. So the next question is that what are you hearing differently from North Bengal, Jungle Mahal, and urban Kolkata? Is there anything different this time?
Yes, North Bengal has voted differently because, and last time also in the assembly election and the parliament election, the BJP has got more number of seats from North Bengal. So BJP also think that they're going to get more seats from the North Bengal. But the ground reality is not such that whoever has gone and visited our journalist friend, they have something else to say that, look, this time the vote bank of BJP in North Bengal has eroded. That trust of development and the trust that they would do something, not that the MLAs could deliver. And in the state level, if you are not in the party in power, it's very difficult to deliver anything at the state level. Now, as an MP, you have some MP lads and things like that. Obviously, you have MLA lad programs also. But overall, through the departments, through the projects, it's very difficult. So they think that in tea gardens and in doors and all other places, the kind of support which BJP used to enjoy for some reasons or other, this time it's not there. But its support has eroded, and how much erosion has taken place, and how many seats are obtained by BJP. It's not a very coterminous, and it's equivocal that yes, earlier they used to gain this 15% plus Trinamool. This time they get 10% plus Trinamool. But when it transcends, the support transcends into the number of seats, the number of seats remain the same. So it could be the BJP continue to gain more seats in the North Bengal, but it may so happen that BJP may lose a couple of seats in North Bengal also. You have talked about Jungle Mahal. Jungle Mahal is not a separate issue this time. The peace has prevailed, the Maoists could be eliminated, and development has taken place. Lot of program projects, you see, and the infrastructure, the roads till all these places to Lalgarh, Shilda, Jhargram, Belpahari, Kakrajhor, whatever area you call, the roads are good and people can move. Whether this was done for the movement of the forces or as a part of development in the Maoist infested areas, yes, there are special schemes, and definitely the Jungle Mahal, there is no separate issue as such. Definitely, last time also BJP gained, I mean, the Trinamool Congress gained, but we have to remember that the BJP has some kind of, their organizational strength in the forest areas, the Bonavasi Parishad and all, they continue to be with the forest people, and they are concerned about forest rights, and there is an impact of BJP or RSS there, but whether that impact is more, and the game changer in Jungle Mahal Trinamool Congress, their support is more, only the poll day and the result day will say. But by and large, it's not a separate issue, and the area is there. Nothing has happened that they should remove their elegance from Trinamool Congress.
Uh, with left and Congress contesting independently, could spoiler politics reshape close seats?
Definitely, this time, left and Congress fighting independently will have an impact in the poll results. You see, they had a voter. Now, left has ruled 34 years, but the number of MLAs in the outgoing assembly is zero for left and the Congress. But people say that the left vote had moved to BJP, what in Bengali we call Bam to Ram, which can
Mhm.
come back. And Congress also in some districts like Mushidabad and Malda, they had their foundations, and their organization is strong. There was one MP there, and the legacy of Abu Barkat Ghani Khan Chaudhary is still there. So Isha Khan Chaudhary is the MLA, and the Mausam Banerjee Noor, there's the same family. The niece of A.B.A. Ghani Khan Chaudhary, who has joined Trinamool but came back to Congress, and the Audit Chaudhary, leader of the opposition, he is fighting in his own seat, and he is obviously spearheading some of the other seats like Ranibad and all in Mushidabad. So if they win some seats like, 4 seats each, or maybe 6 by to the Congress, and 2 or 4 by Trinamool, obviously there will be a force, and this erosion, obviously, it might be impacting negatively for BJP, because the votes coming from BJP to them, so that is why it would be advantageous for the Trinamool Congress. But overall situation in West Bengal, what we call minority votes, the votes of the Muslims, is a
Mhm.
major factor, because this assembly, this state has got around 30% of Muslim votes, and Muslim votes generally are cast together. Now, where they are in strength, there could be one or two other this side and other political parties who are trying to erode the Muslim vote bank. But
Mhm.
whenever they are minority, there are two districts which is minority majority. We call it like this, Malda and Mushidabad. But other districts where there is a presence of around 30%, there are 85 seats where the result is dependent on this cluster and group vote of the minorities. So if they vote, they have voted in favor of Trinamool Congress. And if they vote in favor of Trinamool Congress this time, Trinamool Congress really is in advantageous position as far as the minority affecting seats, not only minority dominating, minority affecting the seats where the minority polling affects the result. As I said, around 85. So they are in an advantageous position. But if some votes, I mean, I personally do not believe that the Muslim vote will be eroded against Trinamool Congress, because all these SIR, CAA, NRC, the exclusion theories, they know that if they are forcibly excluded, there is one leader in West Bengal will stand by on the roads as a rock, and to protect them from being taken to camps and things like that. So they will get that person, that leader who is Mamta Banerjee, on their side. So that is why they would like to vote and like to show the elegance to Mamta Banerjee, so that when they are in trouble, and which has happened in Assam and all, so Mamta Banerjee will come as a rescue and a refuge. Another vote bank is the Mahila vote bank. The Muslim, Mahila, Mamta, these three M's are being
Mhm.
discussed. Now, there are a lot of direct benefit transfer to women, and even the schemes which are enjoyed by men and women both, like Shasto Shati, which is a health insurance. It is in the name of the senior most lady member of the family. So the empowerment, as well as the status, as well as the benefits like Kunnasri, uh, Rupasri, and all, Lokhir Bhandar, and there's a monthly schemes. So this is something which they have got from this particular government. So obviously they would like to repay their debt or repay their gratitude by the way of voting or thumping or pushing the EVM and the Trinamool Congress candidate. So if women vote remains intact, Muslim vote remains intact, these two are the major vote banks of Trinamool Congress. Definitely, the Trinamool Congress is in a better position. But definitely, there has been an Hindu backlash. BJP has been able to, prove that now the time has come that Hindus do need to think that they are also in a problem, and there are migrations across the border and things like that. So obviously, there is a Hindu backlash. So BJP is going to gain. So who is able to retain its vote bank and who is going to get new vote share is a question of this election.
Uh, my next question is from manifestos. TMC stresses welfare continuity while BJP foregrounds law and order and governance. Which message resonates where and why? And how seriously are voters engaging with manifesto details versus local candidate credibility?
Personally think that the voters at the micro level or individual level are affected by the manifestos, whether they have access to manifestos, they read manifestos, and they try to have a comparative analysis of the manifestos of different parties. I don't think they do that or they have access to that. It's basically one or 2 points of the manifestos which are taken as a major point and which are repeated everywhere. It's what is creating impact and what should create impact. It's neither the candidate's credibility nor the manifesto. It is either you vote for BJP, that party and party philosophy and the party as such, and you vote for Mamata Banerjee led Trinamool Congress. It's definitely Trinamool Congress is considered to be is one man or one woman party to some extent, but leadership is changing also. In the next generation, Abhishek Banerjee, the All India Trinamool Congress General Secretary, is also coming up in a big way. But it is in the name of Mamata Banerjee. So it is either Narendra Modi BJP or the Mamata Banerjee Trinamool. Voting is this way.
Right. So the last question is that as results approach, what single issue do you think could still swing undecided voters?
I said the issue of SIR is the most important issue. And how did it affect families? How did it affect people? Now, obviously, one individual's name is there, but he has seen his friend's name has been deleted, or a person of repute, person of importance, their names have been deleted. So obviously, it's create an impact toward people that it's a right to people, right to vote has been denied. Yes, the tribunal may restore the right, but it would be too late for this election. And there is no point that anybody could have this fundamental right of a person to vote if it is a citizen. So obviously, that's going to be a major issue.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Shur. We have reached to the end of the podcast. So, West Bengal's 2026 election is not just about who wins, but how democracy listens amid welfare promises, identity anxieties, and demands for jobs and safety. My thanks to Snehasis Shur, President of the Kolkata Press Club, for bringing newsroom insight and ground realism into this
But I
conversation.
appear as a senior journalist who have seen West Bengal polling for 4 decades. It has nothing to do my incumbency as a president of press club, which I have been there for 9 years, which is also true. But here I join as a senior journalist, as a
Okay.
colleague of yours, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. So, if you find this discussion useful, share it, subscribe, and keep the conversation going because Bengal's story matters far beyond its border. Thank you, Snehasis. for your time and contribution.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.